What's up, everybody? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I am back with Ready to Love Season 11, Episode 9, Detroit Getaway Part 1. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. I do have a couple things. First, I am going to drop, I don't know when, but between this week and maybe next week, going to let y'all know when episode 4 of Healing Out Loud with my cousin, your cousin Cole, is going to drop this month for our Healing Out Loud help segment. And then I am starting a new segment, which is me, called Life Unscripted. And that is just everybody getting to know me. We'll take, just kind of get to know me. I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a mixture of maybe vlogs and, just getting to know who I am. That's all, Anyway, third, we really haven't had much. Everything has been off, but now everything is going to be returning. Also, tonight, I will drop Love and Marriage Huntsville. Tomorrow, I will do a live with Mrs. Best, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, and Shayna will be over on Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. So y'all go over there and subscribe to all of their channels, okay? Because we're gonna go live on Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? And let me see what else. Oh, so we're back in rotation with all of the TV shows. I'm actually adding Love During Lockup. I'm gonna review it, and then I don't know what day, but I'll also be reviewing with Watch Your Mouth Reviews and Mrs. Best. So shout out to them. Also, let me see. Another thing that I do have in the works, because I've been watching 90210, I put it on my community board. I kind of wanted to do a deep dive on all of the characters. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live or different shorts on some of the characters. And then, like, for the main characters, decide to do a full live. But anyway, yes. So that is all I have as far as, like, your church announcements, y'all. So govern yourselves accordingly. And Ready to Love, this episode was fine. It was okay. It wasn't bad. I did write down some notes. Also, before I start, I think I said this, but if I didn't, before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. And y'all, I'm trying to get to 700 subscribers. I'm actually trying to get to 1K, but for now I am sitting at 680. So y'all share, recommend, do all of the things. I appreciate y'all. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I really hope y'all like my channel. And thank you. Another thing, thank y'all for always showing out on the Ready to Love views and also the Love and Marriage Huntsville views. But yes. Anyway, without further ado, Ready to Love. Everybody, just this whole getaway, okay? So y'all remember, we left off where the women were going into the women's lounge so we can go ahead and deliberate, right? So Tommy asked the women who were the besties feeling. Dominique said her friends was feeling Bello, and it felt like Bello was the best for her. Ashley says that her bestie was feeling Darius, and Shannon tells Tommy that Mercedes, let her know Steven matches her aesthetically, but she questioned, was Steven ready? Ashante said her friends thought Steven was genuine, but they wanted to see a more vulnerable side from him. Donna lets Tommy know that her girls, her besties, um oh, I'm sorry, no, Donna said that her and Vince get each other, and they really do like each other. Anyway, Lauren then chimes in and says Vince and her friends went back and forward about the whole 6'2" comment, and she questions how Vince would act whenever she would take him places, and I just kind of feel like, huh? And again, we are talking about Vince, and Vince has been known to kind of show up, but I've kind of been on Vince's side since last week. I really don't think it was that deep, but okay. So Tommy then asks, who we not feeling, okay? Ashanti says to Tommy, her friends was not feeling Cardi, and they told her to run away. And Shannon was like, really? And I'm just kind of looking at Shannon like, girl, didn't Mercedes tell you to kick all of them Negroes to the curb? But I digress. Anyway, Ashanti said her friends said that Cardi gives more textbook answers, and Ashley also said that Cardi is very surface, and but he goes in deep with other ladies. He just doesn't go in deeper with me. And so, hold on one second. Okay, and so Lauren chimes in and says Cardi and her just haven't been able to connect, which every time that it was a few times we seen him talk to Lauren, and it was just like he had literally nothing to say. So I don't know. Anyway, Dominique says Devon's energy. We talked about Devon when his energy was kind of off when he came into the meet between Dominique and her friends. She said that his energy was low, and she said her friends thought that he was weak. And I was like, whoa, I guess. So Shannon says to the ladies and Tommy that Devin tells her in private that he's her number one. And then he says Dom is his number two. But she said basically he was lying. He not really standing on business, and he not standing in what he said. Like, if you're gonna tell me I'm number one, you need to make sure you say that to everybody else. But Devin is trying to play safe. I feel like Dominique was he felt like Dominique was his top, and he put the other two ladies as an afterthought, which I feel like all of the men who kind of have Shannon in their corner pocket, I feel like that's all it is. I feel like Shannon is a safety net, was a safety net for them, and for that, I really want Shannon to self-eliminate. I really hope that she's actually going to be going home, and not because this is a Shannon hate train, but because I feel like her person is just not on here, and I feel like she's great. She seems like a great woman. It just feels like he ain't here. Like, I don't know. I was all the way with Mercedes last week. Anyway, Tommy tells the ladies that they need to eliminate someone and prepare for this getaway. All right. So Ashley meets up with Cardi. Shannon meets up with Devon, and I guess Cardi tried to go in a hug to Ashley, and he ended up spilling a drink on her. And so they have the discussion. Ashley tells Cardi that they still haven't really, talked. Shannon then, she tells Devon she felt like that he should have said, that she was his number one. And Devon finally admits to Shannon that Dom has been his number one, and Ashanti is rising. He said that he felt like there are uncertainties with Shannon, and I like to know what is it that you've seen that we didn't, because it seemed like all of your meetups and all of your meetups with Shannon have been really, really great. So I don't know what he's talking about. I feel like he came on, he was filling himself with all of these connections, and he decided to put Shannon at the bottom and make as a fail safe. Like, I really feel that way. And yeah. Anyway, Shannon tells Devin that he lacks confidence. The ladies, feel like he lacks confidence and you need to go. All right. So he went from 3 connections to 0. And I wasn't mad at it. You tried to play this lady and you end up playing yourself. So whatever. Ashley lets Cardi know that he can still stay. I think Cardi is going to be on the chopping block next week. I'm going to tell y'all what my predictions is. It feels to me like this pick is going to be very strategic. That's all I've seen. Anyway, we get to the group getaway. Shannon said she wants to increase the heat between her and Steven. And I was like, okay. But then when we see Steven is actually in a car with both of his other connections. Okay. And Steven wants to narrow down his options. I guess. So everybody arrives at the cabin. And so Shannon picked out her room. And I didn't like this. In a way, I would have yanked the hell out of Dom. Like, girl, you have lost your mind. She saw Shannon's bags in the room. So she still decided she wanted to take the room. And Shannon actually she came with Dom and Bello. And she sat on the bed and Shannon was like, hey, this is my room. And she was like, Dom looked at her like, what chain? Shout out to Debo, okay? Girl, Shannon is a better woman than me. Because the way, and I'm not saying that we need to be fighting over a room, but it just seems to me that Dom knew that Shannon is a nice person, and so I'm going to get this room come hook or crook. And not only did you do that, Bello is in the room with her as well. I'm just looking like, girl. Okay. So the men have the power this week, of course, and one of the ladies will be leaving tomorrow. All right. So Shannon and Darius have a conversation. She asks how long was he in a relationship. He said 11 years. Now, was it the lady that had been talking to the other content creators? Listen, I saw the lady on Rhonda. Shout out to Rhonda01. Okay. So she interviewed this lady who knows Darius. Y'all go around there, subscribe to my girl's channel. Okay. Not only that, y'all go watch that review. Okay. I watched it. But was it that lady? Because that lady said allegedly that she was kind of scamming. Girl, y'all got to stop. First of all, what y'all got to stop doing is being scammers and conniving and all of the things, and then coming on these shows acting like you ain't do nothing. Like, y'all know people be ready to tell y'all tea. Like, I'm just saying, people are always ready to throw your tea out there. Anyway, he said that it was somebody from his 20s. When he was in his 20s, he thought he can change her and lead her in a different direction because she was a stripper. And I'm just looking at him like, okay, Darius, if that's what, I guess. And then come to find out, you met the woman at your club. So were you a strip club owner? Is what you're saying. You're saying she was a stripper. So she must have been working for you. So not only did you dated your employee. Okay. So Darius said he feels like Shannon is judging him, and she probably was. And now that we've all kind of looked at this review with these people, the people talking about you, sir, you are definitely being judged. Okay. Allegedly. So let me see. Allegedly. So he was like, I'm grown and he looking for love. And I'm just looking at him like, are you though? Are you, or are you looking for a come up? See, that's what I'm talking about. Now, people come on, people talk about you, they throw your name out there in the dirt, they slander your name, and now we think, some of us allegedly think that you allegedly trying to come up. But Hey, baby, we could be wrong, sir. I don't know. Anyway, this is what I thought. After this conversation that he had, and based on how Steven was moving, I feel like because for me, Cardi and Shannon didn't even have a conversation unless it was off camera and we didn't see it. But I do feel like Shannon is going to be next. I feel like Shannon is the one that's going to be leaving tomorrow. That's how I feel. I don't know. Anyway, because now we down to the nitty gritty. So now we got to pick the people who we meeting at the bridge. So that means everybody got to solidify their connections. And that is what I mean about being strategic. Anyway, Steven said his connection with Donna is doing better. Is it? Because how Vince just kind of came in and maneuvered his way in. But, okay, sir. Steven says so Steven is having a conversation with Donna. Shannon is looking because she feels like the third wheel, which you should have felt like the third wheel riding with Dom and Bello. And so she goes up to Steven and Shannon and she starts to talk, and Steven's face was like, girl, what you doing? Like, I ain't like it, but hey, it's the nature of this game or whatever. Anyway, Vince is sitting there so they all come to the sofa. Vince is actually sitting there and he's looking, and so, Shannon was like, would you like to join in? And Vince came right over. Steven's face looked very irritated, okay, and he just started talking to Donna, and Donna's focus went from here to here. And this is what we talk about. The ladies was talking about Steven when you're not being as assertive. But hey, it is what it is. So Donna and Vince talk about having kids. I am still going to stand on this fence that Vince truly doesn't want to have kids. But if it happens, like he said, he'll be okay with it. I just don't think this man wants to have kids. A lot of us who are up in age, who already have older kids or have, may not have any kids. A lot of times a lot of us, not everybody, I'm not speaking for everybody. A lot of times we get to the point where we just be like, listen, I'm good. Now for me, I definitely, that's a no-go for me. I have put things in place where I cannot. So that is a no-go for me. Anyway, again, I wrote that I felt like Shannon should self-eliminate. I think she should. I'm sorry. I really think Shannon is going home next week. I would be surprised if she's not, but I really think she is, right? So Lauren sat down and she have a conversation with Bello. She doesn't think that she's his top connection. And I'm looking at Lauren like, girl, we knew that. Dom has always been his top connection. And I also feel like Bello talks a good game. Like, when you're not with Dom, when you're just with these ladies separately, you really do talk a good game. But now that Dom is in, everybody's in the same place, it's almost like you're gonna give all of your attention over here to Dom, and now you have these ladies over here questioning themselves. But again, I could be wrong. She actually, Lauren, asked Bello, if she's a priority for him, and I'm just like, if you gotta ask, I gotta get my eyebrows done. Anyway, and another thing, she had this conversation with Bello because she saw Bello's bags in Dom's room. So, she was like, I feel like I need to have a conversation with him because you come in, it's not like you get a room with one of the guys, you rooming with her. So clearly she is your top person, and whatever happens in that room, that can actually sway how you feel about everybody else. Anyway, Ashley and Cardi go outside and they get on a hoverboard. He teaches her how to ride a hoverboard because he's trying to get to, get to know her, but again, she meant in conversation. But hey, whatever. So Dom and Bello. Dom tells Bello that, she's dated for a purpose, but she don't have to be married, but she wants to be married. And I was just like, okay. Bello is full of it. I just feel like these other two ladies are back up just in case Dom don't work, but he already know. Bello and Dom has solidified their spot. Let me just go ahead and put this out here now. I feel like Donna and Vince has solidified their spot. I feel like Bello and Dom has solidified their spot. Darius and Ashley has solidified their spot. These are the 6 people that'll be headed at the bridge. Okay? Because they're ready and they're ready to love. Wait, did I say? I meant see. Girl, the math ain't mad. I meant 6. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been on. Okay? I'm just trying to brush up my skills, I think. Maybe because the math wasn't math. That's just how I feel. I think eventually everybody else is going to go home. I don't remember if they do 4 different couples or 3. But for sure, Bello and Dom will be at the bridge. Ashley and Darius will probably be at the bridge. And Vince and Donna will be at the bridge. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, you heard it here first. Anyway, Darius, everybody's at the table eating. The food looked really, really good. So Darius asked everybody, what did they learn? What did they learn about themselves in this entire process? So Ashanti said that she was a prude. Okay, girl. And Lauren said she's prejudged. Cardi starts rambling. I was like, huh? I think everybody else was like, huh? And it got extremely quiet. And somebody said, but what did you learn about yourself? And Ashley was like, see, this is why we think that you're shallow. And then Cardi kind of starts to defend himself. And Vince tells Cardi, listen, don't be defensive. Cardi said, I'm not being defensive. I feel like I'm misunderstood in how deep I am. And I was like, okay. So then Bello and Ashanti go outside. He asks if their connection has changed since the prior dates that they had. She tells him that she's worried at how at some point, if they do make it down the line, he'll try to convert her to Muslim. And especially since, she's not really claiming a religion. And so he was like, nah, I wouldn't do that. But then when it comes to kids, I want to be clear. And basically, I want to be clear in what religion they choose. So Bello tells Ashanti that he missed drawing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This could have been, I forget the one that was just last eliminated. I forgot his name. But I thought Bello told one of the ladies that he went against. I thought he had a date with Ashley. And I thought he told Ashley that he went against his parents' career choice for him. But then he told Ashanti that he wanted to do drawing, but his parents wanted him to do something else. So he did that. I'm so confused now. I think I'm getting him confused with the dude who had the glasses, who said he moved too fast, and because he moved too fast, he ended up getting ghosted and all of the things, that person who was eliminated. Anyway, Lauren have a conversation with Vince, and they go back over the 6-2 comment, and Vince was like, listen, I thought everything was cleared up when we talked about it. Why is it really a thing now? And she was like, you know, okay, let me say this. I just don't think Vince was wrong in his answer. I think that Lauren is, I just don't think Vince was wrong in his answer. I think that Lauren is, making it more than what it is. That's the words I wanted to use. They're making it more than what it is. And I think that it's an unnecessary conversation. I do feel like, Vince questioning them, it wasn't wrong with it, because it's clear that your friends had an inside joke about the 6'2" comment, and it threw Vince off. It was just crazy to me, and I feel like if Vince would have done that, then y'all would have said he was being difficult. I don't know, honey. I'm just saying. So it's the next morning, and everybody's sitting down having breakfast, and it's quiet because everybody's eating. Carly decides he wanted to overstep and ask, or get the drama started, whichever one y'all choose, and ask everyone whether they sleep last night. Vince was like, listen, me and Steve slept in the room. We had 2 separate beds. Now, if Steve came into my bed and slept with me, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, I slept by myself. And they would ask Bella, like, where did you sleep? He said, in the bed. Slept in the bed with Dominique. Okay. So, we get to this next scene where they're working on a flower pot. Steve, have them kind of doing an artsy activity with the flower pot, and they're deciding to give that flower pot to their connections. And then everybody kind of goes indoors or whatever, and then Tommy arrives, right? So Tommy comes in with his voice, and the men is going to go deliberate. And the episode ends here. I really do feel like Shannon is going home. I'm sorry, y'all. I think Shannon is going home. This is where the episode, if I did not say that, this is where the episode ended. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments, but I do think Shannon is going home. And I think that her going home is good for her. I do. I think that this will work. This will work in her favor. Anyway, y'all. Y'all, I will see y'all tonight. I will, maybe like 30 minutes after Love and Marriage goes off, I'll come with the pre-recorded review. Also, I was thinking about picking up the Iyanla. It returns. It comes back on the 17th, but I'm gonna watch it first, and I haven't made my decision. I'm just thinking about picking it up because I like Iyanla. Anyway, I will hold on, y'all. Anyway, yes. So I will let y'all know about that as well. This is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.